Mr. Speaker. Members, I urge a no vote on Budget Bill Junior number 2 for a variety of reasons. We have a $16 billion deficit, and less than $1.5 billion is dealt with through permanent ongoing cuts. Many of those cuts are not what normal people would consider cuts, but they are reductions to the level of increases. Because this year, general fund spending will be $5.5 billion higher than it was last year. Most people would not consider that a cut. The welfare cuts are, again, cuts to the increases. That is not a cut. Even after this bill and the Human Services bill are passed and assumedly signed by the governor, welfare spending will be higher than it was last year. My dad and my husband, both of them actually, come from very humble, very low-income families. My dad worked in the fields from the age of a very young child. My mother-in-law had her husband leave and left her on one day with 5 kids between the ages of 2 and 12 and never came back. She knew, and my dad knew, that they had to work very hard if they were going to rise out of poverty and pursue the American dream. And they did that not through welfare. They did that because of education. They did that because of hard work. They did that because they had families and churches and communities come around them and help them move forward. But this budget favors welfare over education. And yet it's by education, it's investing in our students and families today that we are going to be able to be a prosperous state once again. Californians so desperately want to be the Golden State again, but we are not that state today. We can be the envy of the nation again, but it's going to take all of us demonstrating true leadership, demonstrating a willingness to sit around a table together as Republicans and as Democrats and have those hard and uncomfortable situations or conversations about who we want to be as a state and what hard decisions we need to make in order to get there. What necessary yet painful cuts are going to have to be made. What necessary but difficult investments are going to have to be made to be the Golden State and the envy of the nation that we can be again and that Californians so desperately deserve. But it's going to take reforms. We cannot continue to ignore the regulatory reforms, the education reforms, the welfare reforms, and all the other decisions that need to be taking place in this building to get us back on track. An assumption has been made that government is the only solution to helping people. But what we need to do is empower the faith-based community to be able to provide and meet community needs. My church in Modesto wants to start free health and dental, medical and dental clinics to provide for the needs in Modesto and the Central Valley, which are extreme. And they cannot get through the government hurdles that would allow them to do that. We have physicians and we have dentists that are ready to provide this service for free, and our church can't get it done because there's this feeling that only government can provide those solutions. We've got to turn around our upside-down priorities as a state. And finally, I heard that we don't have any jobs in the Central Valley. That's true. Sadly, we have over 17% unemployment in Stanislaus County and San Joaquin County and throughout the Central Valley. But let's pass reforms that will attract jobs to our communities and get people back to work. Let's not eliminate job training because there are no jobs. Let's spur job training. These are the pathways to prosperity, to economic freedom, and returning California to the beautiful Golden State that it's been known as historically. It's within our reach, but it's slipping away. And it's up to each and every one of the 80 people in this room to put our differences aside and to come together to get it done. I hope that could be done today by voting no on this and starting over. But if not today, let's start next year, because I'm one who's willing to hopefully lead our state to prosperity along with all of you. And finally, on a much lighter note, but a serious note, Go Giants, beat LA.